There's no such thing as a stupid animal. You may think a goldfish has a pretty small brain, but it's actually really smart in its own way, and even a worm has some tricks up its sleeve. Nature is full of surprises, and these amazing animals will prove it to you. Some of them can change sex. Clownfish, which are popular aquarium pets, can switch from male to female if necessary. If a female clownfish dies, the most dominant male in the group undergoes changes in its body to become a new female. Under certain circumstances, other males can also turn into females. For example, if a couple is kept in a home aquarium with little space, this process may occur more quickly. Scientists believe that if there are enough females in the group, they produce a chemical that slows down the sexual development of males, turning them into females. Conversely, if there are few females around, males remain sexually active. But forget all that. Nothing compares to the sea mouse. These creatures can have offspring both sexually and asexually. They simply split into two parts, and each part develops into a new individual. And here's another mind-blowing fact. The smallest animal on the planet is just 0.0039 inches long, which is less than the width of a human hair. This is a rotifer named Brachionis carinus, which was discovered in 2008. It lives in freshwater bodies in South Korea. Rotifers belong to a special group of microscopic animals. Their movement reminds you of a spinning wheel. In nature, they serve as food for larger organisms. So despite their size, rotifers play an important role in aquatic ecosystems. They eat bacteria and algae, which grow in abundance near large bodies of water. Researchers believe that rotifers may help predict environmental changes, as they are very sensitive to water quality fluctuations. It turns out that even something so tiny can surprise us. Meanwhile, the largest animal on our planet, the blue whale, needs to take care of its safety. But how does it do this if it's bigger than any predator? Well, scientists found an answer to this question. Blue whales release a spray of salty water mixed with their skin cells into the ocean. This helps them keep track of killer whales and other potential predators. It works like this. The smell of the whale's skin cells remains in the water for about an hour. Killer whales can use this smell to find their prey, but if the whale releases a spray, the smell spreads quickly, confusing the predator. The blue whale essentially overwhelms the killer whale's sense of smell to dive deep and protect itself, but it's not the only one who uses this technique. Elephant seals also emit a strong odor when threatened. This helps them hide from predators underwater. They excrete dimethyl sulfide, a compound that mixes well with seawater. In addition, elephant seals release a large amount of air bubbles while exhaling. This creates a loud noise that startles potential predators. There's an animal that literally laughs at its prey. Yes, that's right. The laughing gull doesn't get its name for nothing. Listen for yourself. The sounds these birds make resemble human laughter. In fact, they emit a series of calls before attacking their prey. Among the birds, only screamers are known to mimic the laughter of humans. Perhaps it's their way of communicating with each other. It's unknown why the laughing gull chose laughter as its main vocalization, but researchers believe it's part of the bird's hunting strategy. As soon as the gull starts its attack, the victim gets confused and tries to escape. But the bird's laughter unnerves the animal, making it easier for the gull to catch it. Scientists are still trying to figure out what exactly the bird finds so funny. What do you think? Is it okay to laugh before eating your dinner? And then you'll be surprised to learn that some animals don't need to digest their food. For example, Turbellaria flatworms can absorb nutrients without breaking them down. Also, sponges don't need a digestive system at all. They filter tiny organisms and organic particles from the water around them. All these nutrients enter their cells through diffusion. Sponges are also capable of consuming solid food, but for this they must first dissolve it using acids. Some jellyfish can go without eating for a whole year, although they feed quite actively when food is available. And the reason for this is very simple. Jellyfish live in cold waters where food is scarce. That's why they spend most of their time slowly drifting along ocean currents. They basically save their energy. In this state, jellyfish can live without eating thanks to a slowed metabolism. Some species of jellyfish can even survive being frozen. But there's an animal that never stops eating. It's called a sailfin marlin. This fish can swim up to 75 miles per hour. It feeds mainly on crustaceans and other fish. It constantly moves forward with its mouth wide open. When the marlin finds food, it swallows it immediately. The fish has no teeth, but it doesn't need them. Instead, it has a large, strong tongue that crushes bones. The marlin's jaws work like a hydraulic press. They can exert pressure up to 1625 psi. This is enough to crack even a walnut. Sailfin marlins eat about 4 pounds of fish every day. But despite this, they almost never get full. This is probably because all animals have a different perception of hunger and fullness. And some animals simply have no idea what hunger is. For instance, Siamese crocodiles can go without eating for a whole year. It seems unbelievable, but it's true. They're able to slow down their metabolism by 60%. Thanks to this, crocodiles don't need to eat much. Even a crocodile can lose up to 1/3 of its body weight over the course of the year, but it still won't feel hungry. At the same time, green iguanas can fast for 18 months and adders can do without food for 5 years. There are even animals that haven't eaten in 10 years. These are naked mole rats. Maybe they're onto something. After all, people often say that dieting is the way to go. But if you decide to try fasting, it's best to consult a doctor first. Not every organism can handle prolonged fasting. For example, you shouldn't do this if you have diabetes, liver disease, or heart problems. And generally, you shouldn't take risks with your health. Unlike lemurs, which starve to death rather than eat a poisonous plant, lemurs living on the island of Madagascar refuse to eat a leaf that contains cyanide. The locals offered the lemurs a choice between a poisonous leaf and regular food, but the animals preferred to starve. Lemurs have an excellent sense of smell, so they easily distinguish poisonous plants. It's possible that this ability helped our primate ancestors survive and evolve. Lemurs descended from early primates that migrated to Madagascar, and they brought this useful trait with them. The ability to distinguish good and poisonous food is a matter of life and death for animals, but sometimes it leads to unexpected consequences. For example, in 1996, a wildfire broke out in Siberia. Animals that survived the fire started dying off again from eating poisonous plants. Usually, animals avoid poisonous berries and mushrooms, but after the fire, there was no one to teach the young ones which plants were dangerous. As a result, a new wave of deaths occurred. Only a quarter of the original number of animals remained alive. A similar situation happened after the Australian wildfires of 2019 and 2020. Wombats, kangaroos, and koalas ate poisonous leaves that grew instead of eucalyptus trees. Many animals fell ill and had to be taken to veterinary hospitals. The fires destroyed entire ecosystems, which led to mass poisoning. The affected areas are still recovering. If animals are so susceptible to poisons, how do they manage to survive in the wild? Perhaps it's because they have remarkable instincts. And it's not just animals that have instincts. Plants do too. For example, sundews are able to lure insects and digest them. They use a variety of tricks for this purpose. Some sundews mimic flowers and release nectar. Others place their leaves near anthills. Ants collect dewdrops thinking they're water, but it's a tasty, sticky substance that sundews secrete. But no matter what tricks the sundews use, all of them have one goal: attracting as many insects as possible. While this video definitely succeeded in this regard, did you enjoy it? Then watch this one. There are so many interesting facts about giraffes that you won't believe some of them. And if you want to support the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.